Suarez promises revenge and NASCAR has got its solution for the rocker box fire. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, Daniel Suarez has promised revenge on Christopher Bell for the incident before the stage end at Darlington. Let's take a look at this article from John Newby at The Heavy and what Suarez had to say. Trackhouse Racing's Daniel Suarez is not happy with fellow Cup Series playoffs driver. He has promised payback to Joe Gibbs Racing's Christopher Bell after contact sent him into the wall during the Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway. "Whenever I need, I'm going to get him back," Suarez said during his post-race availability. "I'm not saying it's going to be Kansas or Bristol, but definitely he owes me one, and I'm going to save that for later." Suarez continued and said that he will decide when to deliver his payback and that the contact should not have happened. He said he was very lucky to be able to continue the race after hitting the wall very, very hard and losing several positions at the end of the stage. So a couple of things to break down there. If you listened to the live stream last night, I said this on the live stream as well. I don't think he'll pay him back as long as both of them are in the playoffs, because he doesn't want to get into a situation where he pays Christopher Bell back. Christopher Bell feels like they were even to begin with, and Christopher Bell pays them back. Essentially, they'll take each other out of the playoffs. I think the situation that could arise where you see Daniel Suarez pay him back is if Daniel Suarez doesn't advance to the next round of the playoffs, or if they both get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs or a subsequent round of the playoffs. You could see payback happen there. So I don't think as long as both of them are in the playoffs, you will see payback. But if Christopher Bell advances and Daniel Suarez doesn't, you could see payback there. Or if they both fall out of the playoffs, you could see payback there. Or he could just wait to do it next season if they both make it to the round of 4 or whatever. But I don't see it playing out as long as they're both in the playoffs. One of them would have to be out of the playoffs for Daniel Suarez, I think, to get his revenge this season. All right, in other news, NASCAR has come up with its fix for the rocker panel fire situation that has been going on with mostly Ford teams. I know at least one Chevrolet team had a problem with it. Somebody pointed that out to me on Twitter. So it's not actually just the Fords, but there has been a Chevrolet team. I can't off the top of my head remember what that Chevrolet team was. But let's take a look at the images floating around Twitter. I found these on Bob Pogress's page, but I've seen other people who do tech stuff like Bozzy. I've seen those other articles, but these are floating around Twitter if you want to see these images. But we will take a look at what NASCAR's fix is for the rocker panel fires. Backstop panel material. This is mandatory. The lower front section of the right side backstop panel must be trimmed as indicated. The section that is to be removed must be replaced by 14-gauge stainless steel panel. The steel panel must be mounted inboard of the polymer panel. Files for the stainless steel panel and trimmed version of the polymer panel are attached. The trim line for the polymer panel is 1 inch below the fastener center line as shown below. Also, intumescent coatings optional. Intumescent coatings complying with SFI 54.1, for example, Tempo Protex Fire, are permitted under the underside of the lower crush panels, inside the exhaust cover panels, and the upper surface of the rocker box. These locations are shown below. It is also permitted to apply the coating to the right side Tegris MC2P Polyweave backstop panel, RHS NG 725140. And finally, front weight box splitter seal mandatory. A lateral seal dam must be installed between the back of the front clip weight box and the top of the splitter panel, location shown below. The seal must extend laterally to the width of the engine panel. The purpose of this dam is to reduce the migration of tire debris from the splitter area. All right, now I'm no expert on this particular deal because we don't have this particular unit on late model stocks, but it looks like from that first picture, they're putting stainless steel there, so hopefully the rubber doesn't accumulate. It looks like rubber had been accumulating to the side of that particular material they were using there. And in the second one, they're using a different type of non-flammable coating so that that coating won't catch on fire and ignite the rubber. And on that final one, it looks like that final picture, they were just trying to reduce the rubber buildup inside of that particular area. So that looks like 3 fixes that NASCAR have given the teams that they can do to hopefully get rid of this tire migration problem where the rubber is building up there and then sometimes catching on fire, causing the cars to catch on fire and basically spontaneously combust and ignite, like you saw on Kevin Harvick's car, like you saw on Christopher Buescher's car, like you saw, or Chris Buescher's car, however he's saying his name this week, and like you saw on BJ McLeod's car earlier in the year at the first race at Darlington. Actually, somebody sent me a picture of that, and the Chevrolet team that I still can't remember, whichever of the Chevrolet teams had the same problem earlier in the season. So I'd like to say a few things about this. That is the fix for it. But kudos to NASCAR for getting on this and giving an immediate fix, and hopefully this fix works. I've been critical of NASCAR and the new regime. Under the Brian France regime, I felt like safety was immediately, they took safety very seriously and they were on it as far as safety goes. I've been very critical of this particular regime, how they are handling safety, but they got on this fire coming from the headers, from the tire buildup. They got on that pretty quick this time. Now, hopefully, they take the same initiative and add a crumple zone to the front and rear, because those are my two big concerns with this car, the spontaneous combustion, and we need to add a crumple zone to reduce some of that impact being sent straight to the driver. So hopefully crumple zones will be the next thing that they add to this car to make it safer, because other than that, the car has actually raced pretty good, had some tire and lug nut issues. That needs to be also addressed next season as well, or if they can get it fixed this season. I doubt they'll fix it in the playoffs though. But if they can get that handled, I think this car has potential to be a good car in the future. But right now, as it stands, a lot of people are not happy with the car and the response time of NASCAR. But NASCAR was Johnny on the spot with this fix. Hopefully, like I said, they fix the car further in the future. All right, that is all I've got for you today. If you made it this far, feel free to subscribe. Your subscription helps a whole lot, and I really appreciate it. And everybody that's subscribed, I appreciate you as well. If you got a comment or question, leave it down in the comment section. I'll try to get to as many as I can. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.